And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
On first down, McFarland. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Mariota now on second down. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On second and 12, Mariota. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Mariota from the gun on third down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Alert, 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 alert.
Showing it. Check three.
Regular. Protein spill.
Bang. Check.
Hurry.
Smalls. No.
My touch.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 23-yard run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, first and 10. They'll run on first down. McFarland. He's got a first down past the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Mariota. It's complete to Snead. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Check 99. Run. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Damian Wilson in on the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Now.
Hurry.
40's a mud.
Mayfield to throw it. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Come on, Ray. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, McFarland. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Ravens nothing.
Exit, exit. Get him.
On third down, McFarland. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey, 133. Slam. Hey, wahoo.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Check. 180. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Watch 10. Single.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd down now, McFarland. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, McFarland. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mariota now to throw on first down. Snead's got it. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And, of course, and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but
you don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. To try again after the sack, Mayfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Intended for Antonio Callaway. Incomplete. Marlon Humphrey on the coverage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
First and 10 at the 50-yard
Check.
line.
20.
Check. 48's the mic. Bandit. Bandit.
Run, run, run.
Fresno. 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 Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up.
Watch out.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a second and 11.
Real, real, real.
At the 50-yard
Hey,
line.
look, 48. Look, hey, we gonna make the 48 right now. Let's go.
Mayfield now from the 50. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line.
180.
First and 10.
We got 3. We got 3.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it is 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota, he's going deep for Brown. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Record. Mike 48. Mike 48. Hey, me and you all day.
Hey, Delta.
I'm coming after you.
Hurry.
Check 48's the mic.
Watch out.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. And a big loss loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ferguson, his second sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Motion.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And that will be incomplete. Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler as a rookie there to bat that one away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 66 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. That's caught at the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
At the 17-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Mariota. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Demarius Randall. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
20.
Watch the out. Watch the out. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
I got
Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he fields it cleanly. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a dump off here complete, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Mariota. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of cover.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they'll get this down to the 10. That's a gain of 14. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Here's Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, but I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where...
And my goodness, another interception. T.J. Green with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
218, chop.
Check. Check out, bro.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Regular.
Let's go. Hey.
Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Throwing, Mayfield toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for